I decided to attend Minerva after a huge fiasco relating to college applications. I was actually supposed to attend Boston University, but it didn't work out financially last minute, and I had also applied to Minerva. They rejected me because I didn't finish my application, but in my frenzy of trying to figure schools out, I emailed them and asked if they could reopen my application. They said yes, and I was accepted like a week later after finishing, and that was about when I really started to look into Minerva because at first I thought it was definitely a scam, but afterwards I really thought about it and decided, do I want to go here? Do I want to stay near home for college? What do I want to do? And Minerva's pedagogy was really something that I believed in and related to, and I really liked the idea of going somewhere that was preparing you for jobs in the 21st century that hadn't even been created yet, because that was a problem that was like really on my mind at the ripe age of 17. I mean, it's definitely different here in practice than it was looking at its website 2 years ago, but all the things that I think I had higher expectations for have definitely matched up, and then the things that I went in feeling really ambiguous about have also pleasantly surprised me. One thing that I didn't know about Minerva going in was the extreme emphasis on community and care for each other. I think it should have been more obvious given that the class size was so small that we'd all be so tight-knit, but it was one thing coming from, like, I guess a larger rural school, if that's not an oxymoron. I wasn't really anticipating that, and it's one thing that I've really come to value while here. So I remember at the beginning of freshman year, there was a huge debate over the overnight policy because we had students in 1412 and students in 851, and there was so much dispute surrounding that whole thing. And I'd been an RA already, and throughout that issue, I really liked to hear student voices and navigate how to best communicate with administration about it. And that was before at least 2021 had been able to be elected into ASM. And so through that issue, I kind of realized that that's the type of stuff I like working on. I really like connecting with students. I really like serving as a communication channel. I really like problem solving and seeing what is best fit for community needs. So it seemed kind of like a logical move to run for ASM. So last year, one thing that I worked on with Shajara, who was on the ASM last year, was rewriting certain parts of the charter and looking into ways to make that more efficient or word it better or I guess more accessible to the student body as well. So that was one big project from last year. I think last year we also addressed a lot of individual student concerns and figured out how we can communicate those in a way that is more applicable to the rest of the student body, since we as the ASM can't necessarily just take on those individual cases, but we can take lessons from them and apply them and hopefully have administration listen. This year my job is email fielder, so I just make sure that all the emails get responded to in some way, shape, or form. And then other things that I've worked on, I've met with Reed Cooper regarding communications, how to improve email communications in general with the student body, as well as discussions surrounding like cornerstone grading or just other little tiny things that come up. I mostly fill in the gaps, and so it's been a lot of fun so far. My sentences are like a paragraph long. One thing that I want to accomplish is, again, like effectively creating that channel between students and staff and making sure that the voice that I am creating for those students is actually representative of their needs, wants, and desires out of this community. But I guess if I can elaborate on that, I guess one thing that I know we as a 2021 group are looking into are how to make different types of communal meetings more effective. So how we can make our office hours more approachable and accessible to students, how we can make our town halls more relevant and participatory, and how we can just as individuals interact with students more and in more effective ways, so that way their voices are actually heard.
You go around.
Yes.
And then you put it here.
Wow, incredible.
And you tie it, and then now you can adjust like how close to the neck it becomes. Yeah.
Should I make it really close to
Very
my
fancy.
neck? Or, okay.
Wow.
No, I